18th April 2025, and today, as usual, I'm going to be giving you an update on a Sunday. And today is very strange because we're waking up to a very important story whose implications I have not as yet understood. But there is a lot that is going to come out of this. And I am talking here about the issue of fake IDs and passports. So I'm going to give you that story. Fake IDs and passports being printed right inside the Ministry of Home Affairs of Zimbabwe. So I'm going to give you details, and Mnangagwa is behind it. So Mnangagwa is behind it, and I'll give you my thoughts on why Mnangagwa is printing fake IDs and passports in mass numbers. So let's first of all look at what happened yesterday, and then we'll go into that story. So last night before I went to bed, I came here and I showed you that there's been massive rigging, and this young lady here has won a landslide, an unexpected landslide in Glenview South. She has received over 3,300 votes, and the nearest opposition candidate is even nowhere near where she is. As I said, this is massive rigging, but we're going to unpack the results sometime during the day. I'm going to come here and I'm going to unpack the results for you so that you understand what's going on. ZANU-PF is not only rigging in Harare, they also rigged in Rushinga. So let me show you what they did in Rushinga. In Rushinga, they got 794 votes compared to the opposition candidate only getting 9 votes. So they are not only rigging, they are also busing. So they are busing many people. And what ZANU-PF eventually wants to do is to have no one in the opposition inside of parliament. So this is happening as we speak, and we're going to unpack it. There is a dangerous thing happening in Zimbabwe where the opposition is becoming non-existent, and will eventually have an all one-party state. So this is the Rushinga, which I'm showing you here. And you can see that the opposition member got 19 votes and the ZANU-PF member got 784 votes yesterday. And this is after 51% of all people voted. That can never happen in a by-election, that 51% of people in a ward are going to vote. So you can clearly see the pattern. We are seeing rigging at a massive scale by Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is rigging, and he's got a plan on rigging. He always has a plan on what to do when they are rigging like this. There's a purpose behind the whole thing. Now, let's go to what is happening with fake passports and fake IDs. So a few months ago, and starting even last month, we're talking about mercenaries in Zimbabwe. I mentioned that the mercenaries had new passports and they were traveling to South Africa, to Mozambique, and also to Tanzania. Some of them even went as far as Namibia. The purpose of the mercenaries was to come back and attack in Zimbabwe if there was a takeover of some sort by the military. So we're starting to get a bit more understanding of how they're doing this. And this is a massive national security threat that is taking place in Zimbabwe, where passports and IDs are being generated right inside the Ministry of Home Affairs. So that is the Civil Registry Department and the Deeds Office. So these two departments are currently undergoing a process called digitalization. So there is a trending story today where it has been found that people inside those departments, including outsourced companies, are involved in creating fake IDs and then formalizing these IDs. These IDs are then used to create passports and also to open bank accounts, so to facilitate some fraud of some sort. And this came to light when someone who was not involved in the whole thing found a person who was trying to create an ID, and they brought it to the attention of the superiors. So this happened at Bulawayo this week, and a certain young man who works for an outsourced company called Dokma Private Limited came into the office with a photocopy and an original birth certificate, and they were trying to print an ID, a new ID. It was found out that that ID does not exist in the system. Obviously, the reason why you come to Home Affairs is because you've lost your ID. That ID copy was not in the system, and so they were going to create a new ID using the photocopy, and they were going to use the original birth certificate. So what this means is that the birth certificate is fake, the ID copy is fake, and they are going to create a new original ID in the system because the system is old. They moved from an old system to a new system, and they are going to create a new genuine document from fake documents. And this has been happening at a large scale. This was discovered because the clothes that the young woman was wearing were exactly the clothes on the photocopy, which was supposed to be from 1995. So it's clear that there is a lot of this happening. And the odd thing that happened is that after this was discovered, the officials then said, this is illegal, and they escalated it to the people who are in the civil register department for investigation. The guys in the civil register department, where this young man called Brian, a consultant, a contractor working for Dokma Private Limited, did not take any action, and Brian, as of now, has not been arrested. The person who was trying to do a fake ID was not arrested, and no one has investigated anything. The reason is simple. This is being done by Mnangagwa, and it's being used for a number of reasons. Firstly, to create fake IDs. You have seen many instances where cars are registered to people that don't exist, and you've also seen many instances where ghost voters have been voting on the voters' roll. Many people that don't exist, names that don't exist, and this is part of the rigging machinery. You were asking me yesterday, some of you, how do you pass people? If you go right now to the Glenville South voters' roll, and you take all the IDs that are there and perform an audit, you're going to see thousands and thousands of fake ghost voters, especially among the new registrations. So this is something that is being done by Mnangagwa and his government. That's why he's refusing to investigate. And I would dare to challenge them to say, make an investigation, and you'll find out that at the back of it, Dokma Private Limited is a Mnangagwa company. There is no company that is doing such national security work that is not connected to Mnangagwa. So we have a serious national security threat at our hands of fake IDs that are being generated in Mnangagwa's office, and also Ziambi in Kazembe, totally involved in this fraud. They will never investigate it. You will never know who is generating these fake IDs. You have seen those people from foreign countries with fake passports. Right now, there are people in jail for such a thing. But it all starts with the birth certificates, IDs, passports. Every Zimbabwean document is now fake because of these people. I don't think any country will ever accept a Zimbabwean document again after what has happened. And this goes all the way to education sector. After someone gets a fake ID, they go and get a fake certificate from ZimSec. Then they go and get a fake degree from whoever knows where. And they go to a foreign country and work there using those fake documents. So this crisis of fake documents is big, and it's facilitated by Mnangagwa and his corrupt government. What a shame. Mnangagwa, on top of destroying the country, is also destroying the image of our country. Right, I think that is covered. Now let's quickly look at the press. I want to start looking at what is happening in South Africa. We have a big story today. Let's start with Vusi Tembekwayo here. So Vusi Tembekwayo is a popular South African businessman and motivational speaker. He normally claims to be very wealthy and some sort of millionaire. However, today it has appeared that Vusi Tembekwayo is struggling and has been taken to court. He has been taken to High Court by Justin Rovier Naidu here on two claims. So on the first claim, Justin Rovier Naidu is claiming that Vusi Tembekwayo offered to pay him 5,000 rands an hour as part of his services, and he owes him 5 million rands for this. After Vusi Tembekwayo failed to pay the 5 million, he agreed to open a loan account into which Justin Rovier Naidu was going to charge that money, and when there was money, they were going to pay him. However, what Vusi Tembekwayo did was in 2022, he blocked Justin Rovier Naidu, removed him from all company systems, and stopped all communications with him. And that is in 2022. On the second claim, Justin Rovier Naidu is claiming that he negotiated a rent deal which saved Vusi Tembekwayo 8.7 million rands. And Vusi Tembekwayo was supposed to pay him this money as part of a rent deal with Redefine. So instead of paying 18 million in rent, Justin Rovier Naidu was supposed to negotiate this rent deal and get 50% of the savings. So when the savings were done, instead of paying millions and millions a month, Vusi Tembekwayo was paying no rent, was only paying 80,000 rands and about 30,000 rands for parking. But after this money was negotiated and the savings were given, Vusi Tembekwayo then disappeared and didn't pay. So he's being sued at the High Court. That is for an amount of 18 million rands. And what I can say is in South Africa, I don't think there's anyone, any black businessman who's got real money. It's very hard in South Africa to break into the market because the economy of South Africa is not ready for new entrants. So there is no possibility for a young entrepreneur to come into the market and make money with any innovative idea because the environment is not suitable for young business people. Someone like Vusi Tembekwayo, it will be very hard for them to get into venture funding. He can make a bit of money for himself, and I don't think there's capacity in this environment for a young business person, a young black business person. So most of the what these guys say about making money, it's actually not real. Look at the guy who was making shoes a few months ago, just collapsed. Look at Mam Kize, she just collapsed. The South African economy is not properly set up for new entrants. Let me tell you one thing about South African banks. For you to start a business, you need to have a loan. If you are not employed and you don't have a payslip, you will never get a loan from a South African bank. Even if money is flowing into your bank for years and years, they will never give you a loan for business. They'll rather give you a loan for you to buy a credit card or a revolving loan, whatever. But you will never get a business loan in South Africa. If you are going to do a research on how many companies have a business loan, small companies, you'll be shocked. There's no such loan that will come. The South African economy, especially the banking sector, does not believe that they can give a loan to a young black businessman. So people like Vusi Tembekwayo, they struggle, but they will be trying to show a brave face in front of the public. That is the problem. There is no funding or business funding for a young black business person. Unfortunately, in South Africa, that is how it is, and it will continue to be that way. Most of these guys are going to close up or close down or close shop. It will never work until the government of South Africa starts to create a fund. So the only way they will have to do it is to say, let's say someone like Vusi Tembekwayo is generating 5 million a month. and he employs 20 to 30 people. Then if you've got 5 million a month, what is the installment on a 50 million rand loan? Probably, let's say you're paying 3 million a month for that loan. Then the South African government will have to create some sort of fund where they fund these young business people from that, because they will never have money. It will not work. You will never see a young black business person coming up ever, because of that current situation where there's no funding. And it continues to get worse and worse. And the banks, they just bank their money. They don't do anything with it. So South African business and South African banks specifically, they are sitting on billions and billions of cash, which they don't give to anyone. And I've said this in the past. That is the problem. Capital is not available in South Africa. The South African market, one, the rentals, you saw what happened with the rentals. He's struggling to get a place to rent. Then secondly, he's failing to get capital. It takes at least 10 years for a company to become profitable. And during those 10 years, you need capital, you need cash flow, you need liquidity. And he doesn't have liquidity. He's going to be sued for 30 million and end up with nothing. He's going to lose. And they'll probably grab the little money that he's got. He is the most promising young business person here in South Africa. But you're going to see that he's going to drop. Nothing's going to happen. From then onwards, he's got a bad image in the market. And it goes, you'll never see another person rising. How many years has Moses Tembekwayo been working, trying to get to where he is? So the issue of funding, failure to get bank loans, and inability to access support. There's no support for these SMEs in South Africa. Terrible story for today. And then in South Africa again, this is another trending story. DA leader. The DA leader here is in the Sunday Times newspaper. John Steenhuisen, his chief of staff, Roman Kabanak, has failed to get a security clearance. So he's not supposed to be working in this high level position as a chief of staff for this guy is the Minister of Agriculture in South Africa. So his chief of staff must have a security clearance. And in the particular situation, the reason why Kabanak is failing to get security clearance is because he's got dual citizenship from France and of South Africa. So he cannot be holding this position. This disqualifies him to be a chief of staff for Stairs Horse. That's crazy, right? What did I just say? So he's disqualified from having this position as chief of staff because he's got foreign citizenship. Crazy stuff taking place in South Africa. And that is John Steenhuisen, who is the head of the DA or the leader of the DA, cannot be having someone from France as his chief of staff. Then let's go to Botswana, my favorite president after President Hakainde Hichilema is Duma Boko. So President Duma Boko yesterday was attending FNB Grand Prix for 2025, and amazing pictures of him with former President Ian Khama over here. You can see them. So this is amazing. Ian Khama was an outcast under Masisi's government, and I like the fact that President Duma Boko is welcoming him very nicely. And then let's go back to Zimbabwe for a second. So Nelson Chamisa and Hopewell Chingono are in a massive fight where Hopewell Chingono is accusing Nelson Chamisa of all sorts of things. And Nelson Chamisa has now said Hopewell Chingono is being paid to attack him. So I do not know the basis on what Chamisa is saying, but Chamisa is saying Hopewell Chingono is being paid to attack him. And this all started after a Bible verse, which Hopewell Chingono posted on his Twitter. So let's look at the request here by Evans to say, please unblock Daddy Hope. And Chamisa says he has chosen politics of lies and hate. He will be treated as a toxic politician. He knows who's paying him for his dirty job and hate campaign. So if you want to see Chamisa, Chamisa really makes mistakes. When you see Chamisa making a mistake on a tweet, he's very emotional about it. And that is number 2. If you see the second tweet, he has chosen politics or lies and hate. I thought he wanted to say here he has chosen politics of lies and hate. Maybe I might be wrong. But normally, Chamisa, when he tweets, it takes his time. So when we see him make a mistake, he is very invested in that tweet. Like when he doesn't put a capital letter on his tweets, he's very invested on that tweet. So let me unpack for you what I think is happening. Hopewell has blocked a lot of people. Like, I'm basically blocked by Hopewell. I talked to Hopewell, but he still blocked me. So, like, this happened long back when I was a massive Chamisa supporter and Hopewell was a massive Chiwenga supporter. So, look at that. I'm still blocked. I can see Hopewell's tweets, and my people can see Hopewell's tweets. However, the person that really hurt me when they blocked me was Mahere. Like, I was so hurt. I wanted to cry. Chema, guys, after that blocker, na Mahere, I was so hurt because I believe that I had not done anything to be blocked. I was doing my job, and there was a story, and we'd carry the story, and Mahere blocked me. She responded by blocking me. So I sent people to beg Mahere to unblock me, top people in CC, and she still didn't block me. But that was that. Like I say, the truth, this was the only thing that hurt me very much. Why? Because I believe that Mahere was someone that, to me, was a politician that was going far. At that point, I believe she was going to go very far. And what would happen is every time I would go into a live and Mahere was there, then I won't be able to get in because Twitter was set up that way. So it became a big issue for me because I couldn't listen to some things. In the case of Hopewell and Chamisa, I think Chamisa is wrong. Remember, I always say what I think. I think Chamisa is wrong to block Hopewell, and I think Chamisa should unblock Hopewell. Please, Chamisa, do it and block Hopewell. I know Chamisa is someone who's very measured, and it's not okay for Chamisa to block Hopewell. Hopewell is doing his job. So in this particular case, I am with Hopewell. No matter what the background, I don't think Chamisa should block him because that is the kind of thing that I expect from Mnangagwa. I expect Mnangagwa to block. It's not that Mnangagwa doesn't know how to use Twitter. So he's got people tweeting for him. But I think Mnangagwa would go Gambakwe block, Hopewell block, Chamisa block. But in this particular case, I think Hopewell must be unblocked. Please, Chamisa, unblock Hopewell. Let him say as much as he likes. We don't take it the way you think. Many people like and understand Chamisa. And it's actually important for Chamisa to hear what Hopewell has to say. So I don't think it's important. It's good to block him because then Chamisa won't hear the important stuff that Hopewell has to say. And Hopewell is a lot that is important to say. And eventually you're going to need someone like Hopewell, a very senior journalist, in one way or another form. So I don't think it's okay to block him. And I think Hopewell must also unblock a lot of people that is blocked. So Hopewell now knows how it feels. He must also unblock other people that is blocked. Unblock Gambakwe, unblock all the other people. This blocking. Guys, stop it. Mahere, stop it. And Hopewell, stop it. And Chamisa, stop it. You can't be blocking each other and blocking other people. Let the information flow. So no point. This is the point I'm making. No one should block anyone. I've never blocked anyone in my whole life, including Satan. I won't block Satan. I can wear Twitter pangu. I will let him see what I am saying. Right? And Chamisa says allergic to corruption is not corrupt. I agree that Chamisa is allergic to corruption. I also agree that Chamisa has got his own way of doing things, but we shouldn't leave everything to Chamisa. So specifically, I don't agree with Chamisa's approach on certain things, but I do it, and I've directly communicated with these guys when I don't agree with what they're doing. So let me tell you what I don't agree with Chamisa and what I didn't agree with Chamisa. when he refused to negotiate a dialogue and allowed Monzora to take over and start a dialogue with Mnangagwa, I felt that was a lost opportunity, and I said it in public. When Chamisa did not protest after the elections, I said that was a lost opportunity. And in this current situation where Geza is busy and Chamisa is quiet, I believe that that was a lost opportunity. And these things need to be resolved. We're also losing space in the elections. So because there's no political party, ZANU-PF is starting to make inroads. Glamview South, they are getting away with it. No one is campaigning against them, so they can rig, and then you can't say anything about it. So I believe that we're losing space, and we now need a third force or a coalition. So the coalition is M31, and I've approached the guys and said, let's start working on a coalition right now in 2025. So by December, if Chamisa hasn't done it, we're going to have a coalition. We're going to make a plan and have a coalition. We can't go into 2026, 2027 without a coalition, without a leadership structure, without people on the ground. So I believe that there are strategic errors being made by Chamisa, but this is all being said respectfully and not as bombardment. So I think what Chamisa is complaining about is bombardment. So every second, Chamisa, so Hopewell is going after Chamisa on an hourly basis, and he's got energy. You can see Kuti Hopewell, he can tweet for a whole day at the same topic, going. So I think Kuti, someone needs to come in and create a structure, because currently we're having these unstructured conversations taking place everywhere. There is no opposition. I agree with Hopewell, there's no opposition. So we now need to create that opposition, but don't leave it in Chamisa's hands to create it. We have to actually do it ourselves as a coalition. Everyone does their little part, and we cannot allow Mnangagwa to proceed this way. Which takes me to the next thing. There has been an announcement by Comrade Mabunu that a fight or an armed struggle is not part or a possibility. So let me make you listen to what is said by Comrade Mabunu last night.
Yeah, so let it be clear. Vataure kuti nyoka yemabhunu ndo zvaataura kuti kana izvo zvacho zvikuitwa izvozvo zvakasaitika zvokuti Mnangagwa I'm going to ndakutora mayuthi topapfuta kupinda kumubvisa mambara iyi. Handisi kumutya ini. Tafa kare. Pane mazvoka. Let it be clear, tafa kare. Mayuthi kwete zvemasoja aiwa. Kwete zvemasoja nyika tikutora mayuthi eZimbabwe anova ndo ari kutambudzika. Anova ndo akatora madegree asa haana kuwana mabasa. So musafunga kuti mutyasirika Mnangagwa. Tinongowapa ma-AK47 mumwe wacho unopinda ari pabhodha ipapo mumwe wacho unopinda nekukweve chongochaya, don't worry. Funga ndodzoka kumashure kusvikira ndichizora Mnangagwa pandiri pano. Nezera rangu randiri rinori. Iye akaita state security minister ari pasi pemukuru rangu. Ndozvisikira ndichiite zvekuti that's rubbish. Ngazvikone uoneka. Tinopinza vafana one time chiva changu chongochaya. Kana iri hondo inongoitika.
Right, guys, so I want to unpack what's happening. So frustration is building, and it's building everywhere. We need two approaches. So we need a strict approach, but we also need a political approach. And I want to acknowledge what has been said here many times by General Stole, that we lack a political muscle. The reason why people are now looking at other places and other approaches is because we lack a political approach. There is no one politically who is standing up for the people. That is why you see Oppo getting frustrated. You can see already Comrade Mabunu looking at the alternative of an armed struggle. We're quickly descending into an unstructured country, and we quickly need a leader, someone who is going to lead politically, because the outcome that is awaiting us is very bad in Zimbabwe. We've got an outcome that will result in chaos. And that's exactly what Mnangagwa wants. Mnangagwa wants chaos. He wants a chaotic country. He doesn't want change. So firstly, let's get the impeachment to work. So the impeachment on the 6th of May, let's get that to work. If you're an MP, if you're a senator, if you don't get this impeachment working, the end result for you is very bad. Don't go and get a piece of land Don't sell out for a little amount of money. Then secondly, if you're Chamisa, if you're a political leader, if you're a journalist, let's work on an actual political side. Let's not have Mahere sitting by herself, Wopo by himself, Chamisa by himself, Geza by himself. We now need to create a coalition and work together politically to defeat Mnangagwa. No one currently is going to defeat Mnangagwa if you have all these people sitting everywhere. So that political side, through a coalition, now need to be worked on, and we're all responsible, including myself, we're all responsible for creating that coalition that will go into elections. So next time there's an election, we actually need to make an effort and win that election. Mnangagwa must not be allowed to rig like he did yesterday. And I think for now, I've said enough. It's probably too much that I've said because I tend to then become part of the problem because I invested in my own solution, which is what happens when you keep talking, you become invested. And currently, look what has happened. Blue movement has failed to take off. Yellow movement has failed to take off. Geza movement is the only thing that we have right now. So let's all try to work together with the guys, Geza, and get it working. So I think that is where we are on the impeachment. And the armed struggle. Armed struggle, we failed. If you see us doing an armed struggle, we failed. Because there's no reason to fight Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is just about to drop by himself. So let's try to work on that political side and get it working. That is where we're lacking at the moment. Apana, a political leader. We need a political leader who's going to come out and organize everything and make it work. Then let's look at my favorite person. Mini has given or donated a tablet. So she has donated a tablet to the chairperson of the Zimbabwe Disability Association. So she has given her a tablet. So now Chasara Mini is for us to give a Wi-Fi. We've given a tablet, but now we need to give a Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi is very cheap. For $300, you can buy a Starlink, and then after that, you're going to pay $30 a month, and you have uncapped. So personally, I'm going to make sure that we have as many people as possible on Wi-Fi, and I'll let you guys know where we're going next. Okay, I think I've covered almost everything. Let's look at the newspapers. Okay, let's go to the press and see what is in the newspapers. I'm going to start with the Standard newspaper. So the Standard of Zimbabwe. What is in the Standard newspaper of Zimbabwe? You can see, guys, that I don't sleep. It's because of Mve. Mve, Wakapenga. If you drink Mve, you have so much energy. You don't need to sleep. You're a machine. And Hautungwe Nema Salad. So the Standard isn't published. So if anyone has the Standard newspaper, please send it to me so that I can look. The Standard Mail newspaper, let's see if they've published. So Sunday Mail newspaper is not published. Let's see if the Sunday newspaper is published. Very late, guys. I don't understand it. If I can operate for 24 hours, how come they can't operate for 24 hours? And they've got editors and journalists, and by this time, 5:30, you haven't published your newspaper in this day and age. That is trababulous. That is craziness and laziness. Atidi van wakadaro. Atidi van wakarara. So let's go to Sunday Mail newspaper website. I want to go to the Sunday Mail newspaper. Mnangagwa is saying something. Government orders illegal occupiers of state land to leave Sekrumasuka. Construction of second phase of Mbarimsika begins, and Independence Day preparations are in the home stretch. Then maize harvest to exceed national requirements. Mnangagwa arikura vanhu nenzara. That is Mnangagwa. Hapana chinobuda. Mnangagwa, no matter what Mnangagwa does, hapana chinobuda. It will all end up in tears. And then what is in the Sunday News? Sunday News, I want to show you a very sad story in the Sunday News newspaper. This man here is called Brian Moyo of Highlanders. So Brian Moyo and Andrew Madugora have been arrested for stealing $5,000 for a transfer. So I feel that this is a commercial transaction that went wrong, and islanders must please forgive this guy, because when you're doing a transfer, you are entitled to some sort of fees. So I don't know why they're arresting him. So they must let the guy go. $5,000. It's on man. You can't arrest the CEO for $5,000. The contract was probably done very badly. So very sad situation here in Bulawayo. Please release the poor man. He's currently on $200 bail. And it's very sad what's happening. Look at the CEO of your islanders looking like this. This is terrible. You can see good one struggler. Zimbabwe. Then I want to end with this story of Waterfall. So Waterfall is amazing. This is the biggest community worth $5 billion US, was constructed by attack, and they're right now in the news because they've connected some parts of their complex to water illegally. So even if you do it, you'll be going to jail for years and years. But attack has done it. They've connected water illegally, and they've just been given a tape on the finger, on the knuckles. These people. This is an amazing complex. And you can see Mall of Africa over there. Massive, biggest mall in Gauteng and probably in the whole of South Africa. And this is a very nice place. However, this is crazy. Go check out in the Sunday Times newspaper. They have connected water without going through the right channels and without paying. They've been admitted to it. So that is the news for today. Let me now look at the comments and I'll give you guys another news update during the day. What we're going to do is, until the impeachment, we're going to go to 3 news updates a day. And eventually we're going to go to 24 hours. We want Zimbabwe media to become the biggest news source in Zimbabwe. But not only that, we need to change our country. Mnangagwa is no agenda. There is nothing on Mnangagwa's agenda. Mnangagwa is a failed politician. And Mnangagwa, if we let him occupy the space, he's going to destroy our country even worse. It's going to be a failed state. So we need to move away from the complacency. We are so complacent and waiting for somebody else to work. So that's why I'm saying let's make it work. Obviously, he should be blocked for making unfounded subsidiary claims. And statement Chamisa is right. Chamisa, I know Chamisa watches me every day. Chamisa is been doing very well. And I talked to Chamisa here. I know Chamisa sent my message. I don't know what to reply. I know Chamisa I don't want a message. But he didn't understand Chamisa would respond. I'm talking to Chamisa so that he can hear what I have to say. And I've got no hard feelings against Chamisa at all. I don't really mind. But I know Chamisa is saying what I'm saying. Blocking Hopewell is the worst decision you can ever make. Don't do it. Hopewell is a nice guy. I know Hopewell. You can say a lot about Hopewell. But Hopewell is not a person who's been bought to say anything. So guys, let's move away from this blocking each other and fighting each other. The enemy is Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is the problem in Zimbabwe. He says, I blocked you on Facebook. I've never blocked you. I've never blocked anyone. My block list is empty. Andina Mundaga blocker in because Andina pride. Guys, I don't have any what can I say? I have no way in my life where I can say I'm better than anyone or my opinions are better than anyone. Everything I have is from this platform, including the food that I eat in my house is coming from Zimbabwe media. I don't have another source of income. Kana kuti kumwe kwandinoti ndinozopiwa mari kana kuti hakuna. So everything I do and my work is totally 100% here. So who did you vote for if there is no contender? Just blame Zanu. There is no opposition Zim. And then once it makes move, it Muroi. Never impeach Mnangagwa on the 6th of May. We're going to approach every MP and senator and ask them to impeach Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa. I know for a fact to Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa will create a story for me and get me arrested. Mnangagwa has tried to poison me 3 times to kill me, and he has failed. Only God has kept me here alive. Good morning, teacher. Yes, teacher. Neka basi kako. Teacher. Neka rori kako. Teacher. Neka indrive kako. Wakananga mutown. Teacher. And let's go teacher who use it. So someone said I must talk about teacher. On Tuesday, at the UZ, there's going to be a strike of the lecturers. Tuesday the 15th, the lecturers of the UZ are going to strike to protest the $250 salaries in US dollars and a little bit more in ZiG. They want to earn a salary of $2,500, which is what is normal for a lecturer. So I would like to ask all the students of UZ, on Tuesday, don't go to school. Do not go to school if you're a UZ student, so that your lecturers have a reason not to be inside of the campus. Because what the university administrators have done is to say they must physically log in. So I would like to ask all students not to go to school on Tuesday at UZ, University of Zimbabwe. Work remotely and work with your lecturers so that you don't have assignments or exams. Don't let our country be destroyed by Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa arikura vanhu nenzara. Mnangagwa Muroi Mukuru. And then Michael says, why are you at now silence on Victoria Falls project? Yes, we are silent because we've suspended all projects until after this war situation is finished. I've moved my team out of Victoria Falls. I'm not doing any project in Victoria Falls until we see how this is going to go. And we've paid back everyone who requested their money back. There is no money that we're owing anyone. And I know Simbachikanza is watching here. Ukauya nezvitoro zvako zvekunyeba zidzoro. Simbachikanza ukauya nezvitoro zvako zvekunyeba about me. Uzive kuti ndinoti zidzoro. Rega izvozvo zvekunyeba about me. Handina mari yemunhu yandakabata. Right now we've paid everyone back. Anyone who contributed, who became part of Victoria Falls, we've given them the money. Anyone who's requested the money from any project they've ever done, apana munhu andakambotorera mari yake. Because inini handishande nefraud. I am clean. Handina chikwere chemunhu. Handina mari yandakatora. Handina mari yandinoda from anyone, because I live within my means. I think mbamangu ukatondipa kana $500 ndotokwanisa kupedza mwedzi wese. All I need is my data bundle for $20. My guys who work for me toabhadhara mari shoma. Hatina mari yacho vabhadhara thousands. We've got 10 guys who work for Gambagwe. They're all paid every month. They get their data. Apana mari yevanhu yatinoda. And inini handidrive Bentley. Do not drive a motor yangu yandakatenga 15 years ago. I bought my RAV4. I still drive that car up to now. Apana munhu asina mbogara mota iyoyo. Ostalos akagara mota iyoyo. Uyanonzani. Every single person you know is sitting in that car. When I was filming, we're filming in that car. It was amazing. And still have that car 15 years down the line. With the Glenview Zambia victory, impeachment may be a dream. As you heard, Mnangagwa is going to go. If Mnangagwa continues, look at Msoro wa Mnangagwa. Ndakutaridza guys. Musakangana zvandakabvunza. And this is the Mnangagwa. Ari kuzvimba musoro mudara. If he stops, achiramba ita nharo, one day achadonha papublic kana kutanga kutaura gibberish. Tomuseka isusu. Akazviita. Tomuseka Mnangagwa. Akazoita zvinonyadzisa. Now let's go to our sponsor, Mve. So we're currently running a 2-for-1 special. That is the most powerful help ever from Zimbabwe. You can see me here in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, total energy, muscle growth, a 1 liter engine to 3 liter engine, 1 kickstart, and also for women, amazing fertility booster, fair skin, hair growth, and other things. Chakapenga chinichi. If you're in the UK, buy one and get one free until the end of Easter, and a lot of people are buying. So I think we've covered everything. Before I go, let me see if the newspapers are out, just to check, so that it doesn't miss out on some important news. As I said, I'll be back here at around afternoon. I'll come here. So today we've got a match. So let's see if we can do this later on around 3, and we'll bring you guys some more afternoon coverage. Very important for me to give you coverage. We don't want a country where there is no news. That is troublous. So you saw today we never talked about Chwenga, right? We're gonna bring it to you very, very soon. The standard. So we said the Zimbabwe standards, the standard Zimbabwe. Still nothing. All right, so there's nothing as yet. I'm gonna bring it to you during the day so that you can get an understanding. But as I said, ZANU-PF is a problem. But let's get a solution. Let's not fight each other. And we all have a part to play. Some of us, we are sacrificing our sleep, our days, our everything, so that we're here. We need a leader. So we need a leader of the opposition. We need not one person. We need many people to come together in a coalition. And I'm proposing M31 as that coalition. By December 31, we should be having our national conference for the opposition. So don't leave it in the hands of one person. And in Dokma Private Limited, vanakomana nyoka yamabhunu, ana Chamisa, nevanhu vese inside. Let's put 31 December as a target date where we have a national conference to start fighting for these next elections. Even if Mnangagwa leaves, we need a proper organized opposition. We need new leaders to take over. And this business of dealing with individuals must end. We must have structure. There must be a structure in our system, and we need to make it work. So I'd like to thank all of you for watching. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing run. We've been going now almost 1.5 years. So I started going live every day in December 2022. You remember those days, December 2022, that's when we started. We had the 2023 elections, and then now we are here, where we are looking at the impeachment of Mnangagwa. I have worked with almost every politician. There is no politician in Zimbabwe I've not worked with. And in past elections, I've gone to the homes of most of the politicians. I know their families, I know they eat, I know their girlfriends. My small house, and the reality is our country has got a problem. So, and the problem is we as a people, as Zimbabweans, we have a problem. We want someone else to do it. And that person that does it, they don't get any support. Because you never 104 were in jail. No one has ever asked me, how do we give those people $10 for food? And Comrade Dokma Private said, please help those guys with food. Has anyone ever gone to say, what are they eating? Those people were arrested during the protest. So let's not just leave other people to eat and then want to benefit. So let's get help. And when you have an opportunity to assist. When we're looking for funding, could take over my elections and the post-election period, we went to people in Zimbabwe, some of them sitting on budgets, thousands and thousands. We're only looking for $55,000. Someone told us flat out that they'll never give us funding. And we said, why? Why are you not going to give us funding? No reason. They just don't want. And this is one young lady in Harare. We went to the UK. There was a young Zimbabwean there. She was sitting on funding and wanted to get some legal fees. And she could have done it. She could have made it happen. She didn't do it. Pastor Messiah. Pastor Messiah. Pastor Messiah was killed while campaigning in Mavuku. We went to lawyers in Harare to help us. Could there's a case in parliament. Most of the lawyers were scared to do it. Only Agent Zigumbo helped us. And I want to appreciate Agent Zigumbo for this. Agent Zigumbo helped us, and other people I won't mention for a reason. Agent Zigumbo akatibatsira nenyaya iyi ya Pastor Masai kuti yende ku parliament. And guys, what I'm saying here is we've got a big job to be done. We've got a big job to be done. Musatambe ne ZANU. ZANU is got only one thing to do. Especially Mnangagwa. You see kuti vanhu vezanu vakazoona kuti Mnangagwa akaipa. Vana mudhara geza. Vakazoona kuti Mnangagwa akaipa. Isu takazoona kudhara kuti Mnangagwa akaipa. Mnangagwa and his cabal, they've got no plan. They've got no agenda. The only agenda they have is to steal your money and put it in their pockets. And they will not stop until they're stopped. And there's no one to stop them besides Isusu. People who are just sitting. We need more. So we need more. We need resources. Imagine we know Arubudisa 1 billion rands cash for South Africa. Inini pano tucha nika phone kangu. Iwewe iko go tucha nika like kako. We are fighting a like and a phone with muna ane $1 billion. About 1 billion rands. Do you see the imbalance? So we need to do more. The responsibilities on us to make sure that we defeat Mnangagwa. They are very easy to defeat. Mnangagwa is destroying himself. He's going to drop in public very soon. Mnangagwa. But we need to do more. Let's not stop at this point. We're almost there. But we need to be organized so that our country becomes a successful country. Look what the problems in South Africa are. I've just been showing you. We don't want to carry over those problems and have 100 years of a failed state. Zimbabwe is a failed state. We don't want it to continue. I would like to thank all of you for watching. As I said, I'll see you in the afternoon. We'll give you another update. And then we're going to give you another update in the evening. Eventually, we'll transition to a 24-hour setup. And a good day to all.